Alrighty folks, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. This is the second try for the recording because I was in the middle of the previous recording and then we got this crazy wig. I will zoom in there for in a minute. Of course we are going to look at BTC USD because we already broke two major support levels and suddenly it looks pretty bearish, and that all within a day, just like I warned you already earlier in I think I see yesterday's video. I said don't get too bullish, don't go long right away because it might turn south real fast. And well, what do you know, already from top to bottom we dropped down more than 4%, currently shy of 4% down from the absolute top. And I also said in yesterday's video I actually don't really like the top because we just tapped into their golden pocket and then went lower. And I said the most important support levels are 20,500 to 20,300. If we go below, then we lose some important support levels. And you could say this BTC on the 1 hour, by the way, that we have been trying in the Asian session to go above. That is the candles right here, but we failed, and now we're just going a little bit lower. And this looks like a crazy ninja stick or Darth Maul candle. I don't know how you want to call it. Yeah, right now, to be honest, it turned down south pretty fast. If you missed the short, then there is another possibility to go in, and that is, let's say we are retesting this, although we kind of did it already here on these hourly candles, maybe retesting it and then go short once we have another rejection, or we are using the fib retracement bottom to top in this case, and then we say okay, we're trying to go in at approximately the golden pocket 20,600 ish, 20,650. That is also a little bit of an order block right here. Let me zoom in so it's a little bit clearer. Sometimes you see then that we're going higher, taking out the liquidity that is hanging here. This order block, just tip it and then go lower. Then we also of course have our lower high. This is the higher high, this is a low high, and then we need to go down again. We have a break of structure on the 1 hourly, and then we are going south right away. I said actually in yesterday's video why I was hoping for another high. Is that this is just a tiny tap into the golden pocket, and usually you see maybe like a tap a little bit further, spend some time and go down, or a double tap into it, or maybe one tap in, the other one is higher to trap everyone and then go south. That would be nice, and then also the momentum wave would have time to make a bearish divergence. Of course that can still happen, and yes, we already had our bearish divergences here, so in that case this was a nice moment to get in, but I didn't do it because the money flow was still coming up here at the bottom, and that for me was the signal. I was like, well, who knows, since we are going up so fast it might have some steam to go even higher. So I found it a little bit tricky to already enter a short. So no, I am not short yet. I'm waiting for a good entry. And with that being said, we have a classical midweek reversal, meaning that the first 3 days we are going up, and then on Thursday and Friday we are going down. That's exactly what happened. Went down yesterday and going down today. This is on the daily candles, and here you can also see that BTC broke kind of back into the range. And also this is something you can just scroll back in the videos. This is also something that I said approximately a week ago. If we are breaking out here, everyone thinks we're going long, and then we're just going back, and this was then one big fake out here of this pattern of the ascending triangle. We're then going lower and eventually break lower. I have to say it looks pretty weak. We're missing the volume, we're missing the buyers. Yes, you could say on the 1 hour now we're a little bit oversold, where 2 days ago we're a little bit overbought. On the 4 hourly, this momentum wave has done a pretty sharp U-turn. A pretty sharp U-turn on the 4 hourly. I was actually hoping maybe to do something like this, where we also didn't get a bearish divergence, maybe then a higher high. That actually would be nice. Of course it can still happen, don't get me wrong, but the chances are getting slim, because also next week we have an FOMC meeting. They will most likely rise the interest rates with 0.75%. Usually that with all the interest rate hikes it was bearish, and then we're just going lower. Some people are hoping, gambling on a pivot of the Fed. I am absolutely not in that camp. I don't think there will be any pivot anytime soon. If they rise the interest rates with 0.5%, that is not a pivot. It is still the same policy. A pivot is an interest rate hike. like to lower the interest rate, excuse me, then they will lower the interest rate. That is a real pivot from an interest rate hike to lowering it, but that of course is not the case. So don't get wrong in don't get mistaken in the wrong terminology. It is not a pivot at all, and I think that will just keep on hiking the interest rates until at least the end of the year. Yesterday we also talked about the dollar index a little bit in this falling wedge, breaking out, now going higher, and I said exactly if that happens, then you bet your ass BTC is going down. And guess what? This is exactly the last 2 days, and therefore exactly the last 2 days that BTC, oh sorry, that's exactly last 2 days that BTC is going lower. And also for the S&P, same kind of story, tiny tap here in the golden pocket, and then we lower again. Also here, actually I was hoping for maybe second tap. We could still get it, don't get me wrong, we could still get it today, or maybe even Monday, but the chances of that we will tap it is maybe a little bit lower, but it would be nicer, would be textbook. To be honest, yes, that 20,500 to 20,300 were the major support levels for me. I do have to say, now that I'm looking at the chart, you could say, you know what, there's a little bit of an order block, so maybe we have the same kind of here, is that if we spend some time here and then we are going back up, then on the daily, yeah, don't get me wrong, on the daily we could still maybe end then above or at this support and resistance level, and then we just had a wick on the daily underneath that kind of support line, and then maybe end somewhere here, and then maybe next week get another tap and then go lower. That could be, that for me is then kind of the quote-unquote pass that I will give Bitcoin. If we end somewhere as where we are right now, full on bear mode for me, then I think we're going lower, because we really then couldn't tap the golden pocket for the second time. We couldn't hold the 20,500, couldn't hold the 20,300, and now we are at the low 20,000s. If we end the weekend of the week like this, for me it's full on bear mode. I will load up the bandwagon with shorts, because I think that will be it. So you want to see a quick reversal on this, but if else it is over again, and we can start crying again about the bear market, and that's just how it goes. So that is for now kind of the levels I'm looking at. Let me quickly zoom in on the 5 minute. Then you can see, I don't know if some news or something came out, but this was a wick from top to bottom for 1.3%. I had an alert for a possible swing fill pattern. It also happened, but I didn't take the long, because this is just so wicky that I find it a little bit dangerous. Let me see. Yeah, so it's a swing fill pattern. I think it measured from this on Bybit this week was higher, but of course it is definitely a swing fill pattern from this week. Went lower, ended the candle higher. That's a swing fill pattern. Then you could actually enter the long, but like I said, I didn't do it because I saw the price just going up so much within the 1 minute candles. Up, down, up, down, up, down. I was like, well, let this just play out. And usually then what you see is something like this, and then just straight. So that's then not for me a kind of trade that I'm looking out for to take. In case I was going too fast, if I will enter a short, it will be maybe then, let's say, a retest here, then going lower with some bearish signs, or maybe back to this golden pocket and then going lower. That would also be nice. Another short that I will be taking is if we're not making a lower high, so if we're not topping out somewhere here, but let's say we're SFPing this top swing fill pattern, going higher, close the candle underneath, I will take the short. Or if we see something like a distribution again, something like this, I will definitely take the short on the retrace. That is something that I'm looking out for. Would I be looking too long? Maybe on a daily trade on a smaller time frame. We have already quite the bullish divergences here on the indicators, but so far it's just not playing out, and that's sometimes what you see in bear markets, is that you see a lot of bullish divergences, they're all not playing out, and then of course there is one at some point that say, yeah, this was it, and then we are going higher. Then everyone is creeping out, say, yeah, look at that, there was a bullish divergence, that was your sign, but you would have been stopped out once, 2, 3 times, yada yada yada, etc. So just be careful with entering a long. So far every big pump up is still a reason to sell off and to cover the positions and to enter a short. And when it's a bull market again, we do exactly the opposite. Once we are short, we are taking profits quickly, because most of the movement is up and now most of the movement is down. So just be careful. Just looking here at this 15 minutes, and we're still talking about day trades. A lot of time here in the red, a lot of momentum here in the red, so maybe a little bit of a turn to the upside would be nice. but be careful since we had now such a turn and there's just absolutely no sign of us anytime slowing down. I would be very careful with longing this. This is another good sign. High, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and now here again lower high. Yes, you would maybe say, Ray, but if we maybe pump up, take the liquidity above all these high levels and then go lower, could absolutely happen. But then we need again another pump of a bit more than 4%, which at this point I don't find very likely. So therefore I'm saying very cautious. If I would enter a short at some moment of time, once it is in a profit, of course I will move the stop loss right away just past entry. Then in case we are getting this scan wick, this liquidation wick, that my position is not being liquidated, it might be stopped out, that's fine. Then I just wait for another setup to short again. If it gets higher, that's fine. I just wait for another setup to short again, and that is how I enter the market right now. Alright guys, hope this was useful. If it was, then please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think that's useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are also in the description. And see you guys very soon again in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye bye.